1, 2, 3, 4. The Herb Report, number 10. The Herb Report is cool. Rock and roll, everybody. Welcome to the Herb Report, number 10. This is 8/13/2007. Well, in any case, been a busy couple of weeks and whatnot. The end of summer too is always kind of nice to have a few days off before the fall starts up, so I'm kind of in that mode right now. See a little bit of scruffles on my face. The rule is if I don't teach, I usually don't shave, so if you ever see me with a beard, that means I'm not teaching. In any case, one of the big things that came out technology-wise, and it came out last Tuesday, was the new GarageBand and a new iLife. Sweet iLife 08, and I was looking forward to it. Finally had a chance to try it out, and very disappointed. The new iMovie doesn't have a timeline, which means you can't see events. You can't like put events in order. The audio features are a lot more limited. It used to have you had two areas where you put different audios in there, and you can mix in and out of them. No longer you can do that, and it's kind of cool looking in some ways that you can scrub and whatnot, but you can't really accurately put frames together. And it was supposed to be a lot more convenient, and I guess maybe because I didn't play around with it very much. I tried it out and I was like, okay, all right. Then I tried to edit some footage and just couldn't get to work. So I really hope, and of course all across the internet, all the big iMovie fans like me. Just have gone crazy saying, Apple, please keep updating the iMovie that we all love and whatnot. And if I don't want to say, I mean, it was the worst upgrade I've ever seen for the iLife suite than that. So the iMovie is this. Someone made a comment on one of the forums that called iVideo would have been a better name for it, and I think it would have definitely been a better name for it, and kept iMovie for what it is and so forth. These are the features that if iMovie had, and really I'm really talking about Final Cut Express really, but if Apple would have a non-destructive video editing, have a scrub feature on it, and had two video lines, like it had two audio lines, and if you can chroma key, that would be all I would need iMovie for. And iMovie is a little bit sluggish with footage over 10-minute range. I mean, it really was designed to do like 2 or 3 minutes of stuff. And there have been folks that have done complete movies with iMovie because it's that powerful of a program. The new version of iMovie, there's no way anybody could make a movie. You might could do a scene and then link scenes together maybe, but really honestly, you couldn't do a whole lot with that new software on there. Played around. The iDVD didn't really play with much. I was able to open up GarageBand, the new version of GarageBand. And it had this audition feature, which pretty much means that you can say rock, and then you want a jangler guitar, you want an electric guitar, you want a tambourine for percussion, you want this type of bass. And GarageBand will now put it together in a song form. We have an intro, or verse, chorus, bridge, verse, chorus, tag. And it does that for you automatically. So if you have no musical talent or no musical ability at all, and you want to make something for your movie, that would be, it seems like it'd be really intuitive that you want a punk sound with this, that, and other, and the techno beats, and you can kind of hodgepodge stuff and it puts it together. And it sounds actually pretty cool. And of course you could take that there and sing a song on top of it, or do your own melody line after it compiles all that information together. However, if you didn't want to do anything else to it at all, it would sound fine the way it is. So that was a cool feature. Also, in GarageBand, I only played with GarageBand for like 10 minutes at most, and it had a feature where you can go through there, fool around with the equalizer for a bit. So like right now with the volume and panning, you can kind of go each track and design that. Well, you can do that now with the equal EQ, which for some folks it may be useful, it may not be useful. If you understand what EQ is, and it would be useful. But if you don't understand what EQ is, then it won't be useful. So sadly, I think iMovie 08 is not an upgrade. I don't plan to purchase it myself after trying it out. And Yeah, I just don't. I might, I'll take that back. I may actually get it for the GarageBand features because that is kind of cool. However, the version of GarageBand I'm using now that is fine. I don't need to upgrade it. Version 3 does everything I need to do and more. And really, with that, you just kind of since you can put loops in there, you can find loops. They have free loops that you can find off these websites, or you can make your own loops and put them into GarageBand. And as long as you can record live music on there as well, that's fine. I would like to see on a feature for GarageBand that they would standardize, have a MIDI export import option, and that would make life so much easier, as well as a standard for the 128 general MIDI sounds. And that way you'd have a sound for pretty much anything in the family that you need to have. If you have those 128 sound access, and right now, I guess there must be like 40 different instruments for the standard distro when you get GarageBand on your computer, and you can buy extra ones. And some of the other instruments are really cool instruments, and you can make your own instruments yourself too. And I'm sure you can go out there and find folks that have made instruments. And maybe someone has made 128 general MIDI instruments. Check that out. I just thought about it right now, doing this Herbert report, and that's one reason why I do these things, because talking out loud sometimes helps solve problems on there. One other thing about the iMovie is that all the plugins that some of the third market folks have made no longer work. And one feature that will keep me from using iMovie, at least for right now, is that in the iVersion the iVersion that came out with 06, the iLife Suite 06, and as far back as almost the beginning, there was a title that said music video, and all y'all know I make music videos all the time. New version of GarageBand, new version of iMovie, there's no title for music video. I'm thinking if they're trying to have GarageBand incorporate with iMovie, it's foolish not to have a tag that says music video. I can live with almost everything else. I can live with just a handful of dissolves and wipes and whatnot, which is fine. That's cool. I can. However, I got to have a music video where it looks like a music video there. And iMovie used to make it so easy. I'm gonna have to spend some time and learn Final Cut Express now, I think, because of the iMovie. And fortunately, for academic price for Final Cut Express is $100, $99, and I think the non-academic price is $300. I don't need Final Cut Pro at this juncture, and that's a $1,000 program, if I remember right. I think it's actually $300 for academic, which isn't a bad price for it. It's just I think the $100 version would just get me by. And actually, I got an old version of Final Cut Express that I bought for. They were doing a clearance from Final Cut 1 to Final Cut 2, and I got it off from Apple from clearance for like $30 or $39, something like that. So I have that I can play around with, and I can do some chroma keying and make it where I can have more non-Herbert singing music videos. I think would be really cool. So I have a dummies book. I picked it for $6 at Hastings a couple of years back. So I just need to break that puppy up, watch the DVD that came along with my Final Cut Express, and just get better using Final Cut Express. Well, anyways, Apple, please support iMovie, the real iMovie from now on, and everything else rocks. And if you add the MIDI import, MIDI in and MIDI out for GarageBand, that would be awesome. And everything else rocks the road. So this has been a good Herb Report. Thanks for listening to me ramble on for 10 minutes. And I do got a tie on. You really just can't see it. And I'll rock you guys out. 1, 2, 3, 4. The Herb Report is now over. The Herb Report is done. The Herb Report is something that you spent 10 minutes listening to. Rock and roll, everybody. I hope you have a great rest of the day, and I'll see you in a couple of days for the next Herb Report. And thank you all for watching and listening. Go to herbertmidgley.com, theinternetlegend.com. Rock and roll.